Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Now today's video is going to talk about an interesting case about dining and dashing. So you may have seen on the news or in social media this CCTV footage of a couple and their children who on multiple occasions dined and dashed. And for those of you who are not aware, this is a practice where they would go to a restaurant, order lots of food and drink, sometimes totaling over £200 or £300, and then they would fail to pay for their meal, leaving the restaurant out of pocket. Now, yesterday, the 29th of May 2024, Anne McDonagh and her husband Bernard McDonagh were sentenced to 12 months and 8 months imprisonment, respectively, for multiple offences. And in this video, I'm going to briefly go through the facts of this case and then explain the main offence that they were charged with, which was not the standard theft, as people might know. Welcome to my channel, Andy on Crime, where I talk about high-profile criminal cases and other aspects of criminal law in England and Wales. So the basic facts of this case are that from the 9th of August 2023 through to the 19th of April 2024, the couple Anne and Bernard McDonagh attended 5 restaurants, ordering substantial amounts of food for themselves and their family, totalling £1,168.70, knowing that they would not make payment. Now, Anne McDonagh would attempt to make payment, knowing that her card would be declined. And then when the payment could not be taken, she would leave, claiming to be seeking alternative payment by going to the bank, but she would not return. Now, she would leave behind one of her children as a gesture of trust, claiming that she would return, but then that child would simply run away after a couple of minutes. Now, on another occasion, the family ordered food to be delivered to their house, and when the food was delivered, they refused to make payment and simply closed the door on the delivery driver. Now, Anne McDonagh also committed several other offences of shoplifting by removing security tags and stealing items to the value of over £1,000. And she continued her deception on arrest by obstructing police by claiming to be 9 months pregnant, resulting in her being released from custody. Now, their scheme that they were running of dining and dashing was uncovered when a business posted the CCTV footage on their social media, which sparked a backlash and led to them being identified. Now, the couple appeared at Swansea Magistrates Court on the 8th of May 2024, where they pleaded guilty to 5 charges of obtaining services dishonestly relating to the dining and dashing scheme that they were conducting. And in addition, Anne McDonagh also pleaded guilty to 4 charges of theft from a shop and 1 charge of obstructing an officer in the execution of their duty. And yesterday they were jailed for 8 months in the case of Bernard McDonagh and 12 months in the case of Anne McDonagh. She was given an additional 4 months for the other offences that I've mentioned. And they're also required to pay £2,185.70 in compensation, which includes £1,168.70 in unpaid restaurant bills and a further £1,017 for the items stolen by Anne McDonagh from the shops. Now, Swansea Crown Court heard that the pair had used more than 40 aliases and 18 dates of birth as part of this fraud. And the judge in the case, Judge Paul Thomas KC, said that they were motivated by pure and utter greed, and that the dine and dash incidents were carefully pre-planned to a specific pattern. And the use of their children, who would wait in the restaurants whilst they pretended to go to a cash point, were ruthlessly exploitative. Now, the newly opened Bella Chow in Swansea was one of the restaurants that were targeted by the family, where they ordered T-bone steaks and double pudding portions and then left without paying their bill, which amounted to £329. Now, I'm just going to talk about the offence that they committed when they were dining and dashing, and that is the offence of obtaining services dishonestly, which is a criminal offence contrary to Section 11 of the Fraud Act 2006. And the elements of the offence that must be proven are that the defendant, or defendants in this case, obtains for themselves or another services dishonestly knowing the services are made available on the basis that payment has been, is being, or will be made for in respect of them, or that they might be, and that they avoid or intend to avoid payment in full or in part. So I'm just going to break this down very, very slightly. So defendants in this case, clearly Anne and Bernard McDonagh, obtained services from themselves or another. So they obtained meal for their family. They did so dishonestly because they never intended to pay for it and indeed didn't pay for it. And they knew that once they ordered the food, they were required to pay for them. And then they intended and actually avoided payment by disappearing, claiming their card didn't work and that they were obtaining money from an ATM, leaving their child behind who would later run off. So that is the offence that they committed, and by pleading guilty they obviously accepted each and every element of that offence. Now the offence itself has a maximum sentence of 5 years and is what is known as an either way offence, meaning it can be heard in either the magistrate's court or the Crown Court, and much will depend on the value involved in the fraud and the facts specific to the case in determining which court it will be held. Now, the offence of obtaining services dishonestly replaces an offence that some people may have heard of called obtaining services by deception, which was contrary to Section 1 of the Theft Act 1978, but that has been repealed by the Fraud Act of 2006 in the creation of this new offence. And the CPS charging guidance specifically states that this offence is to be used in these circumstances, i.e. in circumstances where someone has dined and dashed. When it comes to their sentence, both of them will automatically be released at the halfway point of their sentence and be released on licence for the remainder of that sentence. This means that they will be subject to certain conditions when they are released and will be monitored by the probation service. If they commit any other offences or fail to abide by their conditions, then they will likely be recalled to prison and serve the remainder of their sentence inside. What do you think about this case? Did they get off lightly, or is 12 and 8 months too long for what they did? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Take care.